Today we're going to be taking a look at some things that definitely happened. These things definitely happened, and no one here is lying. From the subreddit r/thathappened. For my daughter's first birthday, I took her for hibachi. Isn't hibachi like that sort of like Japanese food where people like cut up shit in front of you? Like in Monsters Inc. One sec. Yeah, like this. It's like this. Right? That's hibachi. I'm sure your 1-year-old would love that. And I'd be sitting here wondering why she's... What? It's her first birthday. What? And I'd be... Am I reading this wrong? For her first birthday. And I'd be sitting here wondering why she's ordering lobster tail, boba, and sushi when we go to restaurants and getting Airbnbs for girls' night at the ripe age of... What? Hang on. Am I reading this wrong? Oh, okay. So this is like a cool... She's like, oh, for her first birthday, I took her to hibachi. And she's wondering why she's ordering lobster tails now. Okay, on her 8th birthday. Yo, this year, homegirl says she wants a Sephora shopping spree on top of a pie, and oh, she wants her regular gifts. This shopping spree is just extra. Tell your child no. Just go. No, you're not having that. Calling all TTs, what's a TT? I don't know. And uncles to the stage to throw dollars in on my girl Sephora tab. Just say no to what? And not getting this isn't realistic for her, so her mind doesn't comprehend I can't have. Or my mind comprehended I can't have at age 8. Maybe it's poor parenting. Her mind only thinks I can have whatever I want. Yeah, I think this, I don't doubt this happens. I think this person is just a terrible parent that can't say no to their child. Met a bunch of guys from Harvard yesterday, and I kept pretending like I'd never heard of that school just to piss them off. One of them legit turned red when I said Harvard. Is that like a local community college? Ha ha ha. You sure showed them with your massive intellect. What is Harvard? Just a humble local community college. One time I bought an entire jar of Nutella to eat in the airport security line, but I was too stressed out to eat it. So I got to TSA and they're like, ma'am, you're gonna have to toss this in the bin. It's restricted. I swear to you, I looked up to an entire audience of people watching, all wide-eyed and stunned. I'm sure they were. I'm sure they'd never seen anything like that before. So the airport security saying, oh yeah, sorry, you can't have that. You're gonna have to put it in the bin. They're making that girl throw away her Nutella. They were all watching to see what I was going to do. No one makes a girl throw away her Nutella at the airport. I just started digging into it with my bare hands. I ate that entire jar to the applause of the crowd. I am not making this up. Yes, you are. I am not making this up. I wish I were. It's probably the dumbest thing I've ever done for a crowd. Afterwards, I tossed the empty can into the trash and a bunch of people congratulated me and said it was worth it. Have you ever had like a few spoons of Nutella? Just gone into the tub and just gone, yum, yum, yum. You feel sick after about 3 or 4. You didn't eat the whole tub. Proceed to cheer to your audience and then get on a flight. Fancied a pizza, so instead of spending £40 on Domino's, I paid £19 return flights to Milan on Cheap Flights Club and £8 for the best pizza I've ever had. I mean, I think they've just gone on hot. I know people that have done this, genuinely. I know people that have done this just for the sake of saying they have. So I'm going to say they're probably not lying because I know people that have done this. I wore my MAGA hat today while grocery shopping. 5 people stopped to tell me how much they loved my hat, including 2 young African-American men. Well, isn't that great? That's great. No one's ever stopped me to talk to me about my hat. I was wearing a hat once with a fish on it, and this crackhead, I was walking past him, and he goes, "Who are you? You've never fished in your life!" I wasn't claiming to it. It was just a hat with a fish on it. My big little guy came home yesterday. He was attached to me for most of the night, arms around me at dinner, brushing my hair out of my face, double clutching my neck in the spa and kissing my face all over. He stands outside the toilet and says through the door, "I love you, mama." At bedtime, we lay down for snuggle. He gently moves my fringe off my face and tucks it behind my ears. He kisses my... This is written really strangely. Is it just me, or is this is written really oddly for a mother-son story? He kisses my forehead and says, "You are my... You are my lifeblood. You are my lifeblood, my creator, my whole universe. The best is mama I could have ever wished for. I love you more than anything. You are..." Mother, you are my lifeblood. I look at him with welled up eyes and respond. I then ask him if he's okay. He responds, "I missed you the mostest this week. It was really hard." Okay, right. I'm not reading anymore. It's not going to get better than "you are my lifeblood." Am I the arsehole? I honestly just wanted to help. Today I was at the bookstore and I saw a woman looking through the medical book, so I thought to introduce myself and maybe help if I can, as I'm an EMT. So I said, "Hello, good afternoon. My name is Ali. Nice to meet you." Her response was, "Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm not into talking to charity cases." And I was really taken back by her response, so I just responded, "Well, nice to meet you, Miss Amanda, and I hope you find the book you're looking for and have a nice day." I just walked away to the coffee shop part to pick up my order at that point. The barista, she heard everything, and when I went to go pick up my order, she gave me a cookie on the house and told me that now she understands why guys don't approach women much anymore. Honestly, maybe her response was because dudes always hit on her, but then again, I don't think I gave off the idea that I was trying to do anything else but help. Maybe my approach was wrong. Reddit, what do you think? Do you think my approach was wrong? But yeah, that never happened. Donald Trump saved my grandmother's life. My grandmother needed a heart transplant, and Donald Trump just bought her a new one with his own money. He's the most generous person in the world. God praise him. Yeah, that... You're just fucking lying online. This was like me in year 2 when I said I was a Jedi. Ah, okay, so it's a Twitter user who has alpha male in their name. They must be an alpha male. It says it in their username. I went on a date with an extremely attractive girl this evening and took her to a very classy restaurant. We sat down and I instantly asked who she will be voting for this November. She said Kamala Harris. Without hesitation, I got up and left. She can order an Uber home. Well said, Mr. Alpha Male. Well said. No one with alpha male. No one who refers to themselves very publicly as an alpha male has ever been on a date with an attractive woman. So this is bullshit. I was in a Walmart telling my teenage daughters that most men have been raised with the expectation that a woman will be taking care of them their entire lives. I got 5 or 6 amens and preached sister from nearby female shoppers. The lone man who heard the discussion scurried off in another direction with his butthole puckered. Yeah, that happens. That happens, doesn't it? That certainly happens in Walmart. I was at a coffee shop this morning and the woman in front of me said to write Kamala on her cup. The woman behind me said, "You go, girl," and then the entire line started clapping. Maybe her name was just Kamala. An old man in a MAGA hat slammed down his muffin, yelled the N-word and walked out. That didn't happen. Or someone was in Starbucks. They went, "Oh, what's your name?" They went, "Oh, Kamala." Everyone went, "You go, girl." And then this old man just went, "N-word," and then walked out. Last summer, my husband met me at a restaurant and we were so genuinely happy to see each other that the couple sitting at the table next to us broke up. The woman turned to her boyfriend and said, "Have you ever been that happy to see me?" And the guy goes, "Not that really." Me and my husband try not to interject, like, okay, that's quite funny, so I'm gonna believe it because it's funny. When I get angry, my friends hold me back at school because I am kind of strong, and sometimes if I'm really angry, my eyes turn half red. No joke. Once my eyes turned red and we had to go in lockdown. No joke. What do you mean you had to go in lockdown? What, the school got locked down because your eyes turned red? I'll tell you why your eyes are turning red, because you're holding your breath. Everyone's eyes do that. Strangers were talking badly about me at a pub because I was reading. I'm an introvert and I wanted to go out. So I went to a pub that seemed pretty chill. I was by myself and I got myself a beer. I then started to read a book. I don't have anyone to talk to at this pub, so that's what I'm going to do. And from halfway across the room, I hear a group of 3 ladies in their late 50s talking. I hear one of them say, "This isn't a library," and then one of them says in Spanish, "Look at the girl." So I finish, okay, I believe this happened. I live in England. I believe this happened. So I finish as much of my beer as possible and get up to leave. I say, "Ladies, this isn't a library, but this sure as shit ain't a high school." They couldn't even bother to turn their heads around. Is that, you calling them old? You calling them old? Okay, I believe the rest of it happened. I don't believe this end bit happened. I believe the rest of it did, though, because I live in England and I know what people are like. I feel as though he just added that end bit on to feel a bit better about me. He told himself that in the shower later on. That's what happened. He was like in the shower, he was like, "Oh, fuck, should have said that." The only time I ever saw something like this was when I beat LeBron James at one-on-one basketball in 2014. Yeah, of course you did, mate. And I beat Messi at Power League. I felt terrible for him and promised to never let the world know of his breakdown, just as long as he paid me the $20 we were wagering on the contest. Well, it's been 10 years and I never got that $20, so I think it's fair I tell the tale. Well, the tale that never happened. Maybe I'm way off base, but I fight fire with fire. I bought a house in the late 1990s when I was in my late 20s. Shortly after I moved in, I noticed a small group of teenage boys would walk home from school using the train tracks that ran behind my house. My 2 dogs had a doggy door and were in and out in my fenced backyard. I heard my dogs barking one day, so I went outside to find 3 teenage boys throwing rocks at my dogs. Why would they do that? I went straight into fight or flight mode, ran up to the idiots and screamed my head off, saying something like, "Fuck off, you useless shits. If I ever see you anywhere near my home or dogs again, I will rip your balls off. I will hunt you down like the dirty animals you are. You don't believe me? Do try me. Do not fuck with a lesbian who's 6'2". And yeah, they looked at me like a deer in headlights and ran, never saw them again. Yeah, I'm 50-50 on whether this one happened or not. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know. Because I feel as though, like, it's very rare you find 3 people that are that horrible that they throw stuff at dogs, but those people typically attract each other, don't they? So it is possible that it happens. Even if I tried my whole life, I couldn't love you anymore. You're just too beautiful. You've words from my 7-year-old at bedtime. All right. This morning when going out the door, he kissed me and said, You are my whole world. My little boy, you speak to me with so much love, respect and adoration that it blows my mind. Your words and encouragement keep me strong when I am weak. I've never been told so much by anyone how beautiful I am and how loved I am. Such a special treat. Every second. Fridays suck. I'm going to miss you so much. I'll be eagerly waiting for you in 7 days, as always, with open arms. The biggest snuggle and all the love a mama can cram in 1 week. I love you, my darling, with every fibre of my being. Yeah, your 7-year-old definitely said, even if I try my whole life, I couldn't love you anymore. You're just too beautiful. Are you driving around without license plates? Hypothetically, I'm thinking you wouldn't get very far without getting pulled over. How would you handle that situation? What Facebook group was this posting? Of course, you've got to drive with a license plate. 9 years, no tag, pulled over at least 50 times, 0 tickets except once. And the one time I did get a ticket, it got thrown out in pre-trial. And I went on to sue them in a federal lawsuit, which they decided to fold on and make me a very nice settlement offer, which I used to pay off my house and buy a new truck. I highly recommend studying the subject in fine detail. No, you need to drive with a license plate. 2:45 a.m. Eastern time. I was sleeping with my earbuds in, listening to meditation music, when I was awoken for the 3rd time by a loud woman a couple rows back. I'm guessing this is on a plane. As I sat there for the next 10 minutes listening to her voice over the sound of my music being on max, I finally snapped. I stood up and proceeded to yell, "Will you please stop talking so loud? I can hear you over my earbuds. You are being so rude." Everyone turned and looked up to me with a giant smile on their face, and I got a couple of head nods. I am not sorry for the scene I made. Someone needed to shut her up, and you did not do that, did you? Because this didn't happen. LinkedIn is a goldmine. Oh my God. I love LinkedIn posts. I love them. I took an interview of a candidate day before yesterday, which sort of broke my heart. After a brief discussion when I asked him about his salary expectation, he gave me a number, which I felt was way below the market rate for a person of his experience. He was 40 plus years old, and somehow in the middle of the interview, I was thinking, how is he feeding his family with such a low salary that is generally asked by freshers? However, his skills were not matching our requirements for the post, so we didn't select him. A few minutes later, he came back to my cabin and said, "Sir, I can reduce my salary expectations if you want." This one line broke my heart. How do I tell him what was going through my mind a few minutes ago? My general advice to candidates who don't know about the mindset of people sitting on the other side of the table. Of course, budget is one factor, but it's not everything. Companies will pay you more if you can add more value to them. Focus on having and showing your value. I think this happened. I'm not reading the rest of it because I think this could have happened. It is a typical wanky LinkedIn post, but that could have happened. So I'm at Liverpool Central and 2 trains are delayed. When it eventually comes, loads of people are waiting. Then 5 young lads push through to get on first, about 18 years old. So I get to the doors of the train and held the lads back to make way of the older people that have been waiting, and I said, "Listen, lads, do the decent thing." The lads are giving me the eyeball. I was amazed how many kids were sat down and elders stood. Not on my watch. Get up and stand. Could have happened. Could have. I'm not definitively saying this didn't happen because I believe this could have happened. I just believe English people are too meek to stand up to 5 18-year-old boys. I certainly would not do that. Like and subscribe if you love lying.